Hello, Whimsies! Today, I challenged myself to create a collage art journal using one page of magazine. I found this magazine while I was rearranging our furniture and organizing our stuff at home. The prints and color on this page are ecstatic and perky, so I'm drawn to this page in an instant. So to match the color and prints on this page, I started by drawing amorphous shapes. Amorphous means having undefined shape or form. I went on this shape because I want to spark creativity and imagination while I'm doing this art journal. I want to surprise myself with what's going to happen at the end of this work. I'm just cutting along the lines I made, and I'm also visualizing how these shapes are going to be put up together. Then, at the back of the page, I saw this yellow color and I instantly cut oval shapes out of it. I thought of the usual yellow circles I see in drawings of flowers, so I cut different sizes and circular shapes. I was also drawn to this wavy form of the blanket, so I just cut along the shape of it and I cut an angular shape on the other side. I thought that this will go well on one corner of my journal. Since there is a beige or cream color from the blanket, I drew wavy shapes from this wood picture on the magazine as well. I added a few more curves using this side of the page. Basically, I want to cut a lot of shapes as much as possible so as not to waste this page. At this point, I did not know yet how I'm going to put all of these together, but I'm excited to juxtapose all these shapes. Finally, I am gluing all the shapes I cut into my art journal. I started with gluing the shapes I thought of putting at the corners. Then I outlined this corner where I wanted to write my journal for today. Then I started to lay out the first shapes I cut. These are the amorphous shapes that I cut initially, and these are going to be the foreground of this collage. It is important to have at least 3 layers to achieve a good depth in your work. It should have a background, middle ground, and foreground. Since I already glued on the foreground, I had a difficult time to glue the middle ground and background shapes. Lesson learned, I should start with the background items and then work with my middle ground until I work my way up to the foreground. I'm adding these curved shape on the side and gluing them at the back of this amorphous shape. I liked how it framed the main object to make it as a focal point. So I am gluing more of these curved linear shapes along the side of my journal. I continued on pasting the curvy linear shapes with a gap between the other and cut the excess length so I can make use of it and paste it on the next side. Collage is the art of assembling different materials, elements, or images to create a whole new composition. I like this type of art because you can bring a new life to an already printed work, and in this case, the magazine page. At this point, I had a clear vision of where this image will lead me, so I continued on gluing the other amorphous shapes that I cut. It is also important to distribute the colors on your working surface. So the orange colors, which are situated on the corners of my journal, were intentionally made so that I could achieve a good balance on this composition. Since there is a blank space in the middle, I needed to fill that in. These oval shapes that I cut are an afterthought. Sometimes this happens, especially when you don't really have a plan and you just depend on your visual decision while creating your artwork. These yellow oval shapes were the last thing I'm gluing since I already knew where to put them. As I mentioned earlier, it reminded me of the yellow circles I draw in flowers, so I'm pasting them on the middle of the amorphous shapes. And then to connect the writing area with the image, I pasted some of the blue and yellow oval shapes on the writing area. I outlined the shapes using the black Posca acrylic pen to distinguish one shape from another. While I was doing this, I was already thinking of the details I'm going to add to this image. The prints were already detailed, so I was thinking of how to organize the visual elements and tie them all together. To add more depth, I painted some spaces black. I also drew some details in black color to the blank spaces. In this case, I'm drawing small circles on this area. I was just adding more details on the blank spaces so that the eyes of the viewer will not be drawn on these areas. I added lines so that the eyes of the viewer will be drawn to the main object. And this is called the eye path. Here I was adding details in white Posca acrylic pen to give contrast to that heavy black lines. I added a few more white dots on some shapes so that I could distribute this pattern on the other side of the page. Then on these amorphous shapes, I was drawing curved lines starting from the yellow oval shape towards the outline of the amorphous shape. These lines kind of muted the intense colors of the prints because it breaks the colors and ties them together in a more subtle color because of the white acrylic paint. I was drawing biomorphic shapes in white Posca acrylic pen on these areas where I felt that I needed to fill in. Then after drying the white acrylic paint, I outlined these biomorphic shapes in black pen to clearly see the images and balance the contrast on this side of the page. Now I'm working on the journal side and I'm adding a few more details using pen. This is where I wrote my entry for today's journal. This is the final work of my challenge for today's video. A collage art journal using one page of a magazine. I liked how it turned out and I hope you liked it too. I also hope that you learned a lot from this tutorial so that you can make your journal more creative. If you liked this video, please click like and share it to your friends. Subscribe to this channel to watch for more whimsical thoughts in the future. Thank you for watching, Whimsies!